as y'all know, college football season starts tomorrow. Let's get it. All right, man, I'm excited, bro. We got a big-time game tomorrow. Iowa State versus, obviously, Kansas State. I'm going to get my prediction and break down this matchup. It is a big win in Ireland. They're both on the international spotlight. All eyes will be on both of these teams. And remember, Georgia Tech played Florida State last year in a great game to kick off college football that went back and forth with Georgia Tech winning a game-winning field goal. I'm excited. This one should be good. Two ranked opponents in the AP poll. Two great quarterbacks, Rocco Beck, Avery Johnson. Let's break it down. Now, in this game, K-State is favored, right? 62.3% chance to win according to the matchup predictor in ESPN Analytics, who does a pretty good job, right? But the crazy part is when you break down this matchup, Iowa State has been giving Kansas State the belt. They have won the last two matchups, and they've won 4 of the last 5 going up against K-State. They've had a problem. But when you look at K-State this year, Avery Johnson is expected to be that dude. He's supposed to take a big step forward. Remember, last year, a lot of people was pegging Kansas State to win the Big 12 because of Avery Johnson. He had a pretty solid season. We're not going to say that he played terrible. Had a couple of mistakes in there in some big games. We want to see him take the next step forward in the Big 12 because it's a lot of parity. You don't know who's going to come out on top, obviously like Arizona State, but anybody can emerge. Anybody can emerge. So this is supposed to be the year for them. And they have the addition, obviously, of Dylan Edwards. He should be able to help them out a ton. My eyes, however, on Kansas State is on Jace Brown and Garrett Oakley. Now, Jace Brown balled last year, 47 catches, 820-plus yards, and 5 tubs, right? And Garrett Oakley is supposed to take a step forward. Now, the bad thing for K-State is they're dealing with so many injuries. Like the true freshman phenom that everybody's excited about is not even going to play in this game in Lincoln Cure. And then this is the injury list, y'all. I mean, it's kind of insane. No Kobe and Malacheister, no Jay Sean Ross, no Cub Patton, no Darian Whitaker, no Ryan Davis, no George Fitzpatrick, no Michael Capria, no Andrew Misker, and they still got an even longer list on the doubtful, which is likely they're not going to play, right? They got at least about 12 to 15 guys injured. So it does give me a little bit of concern going into this matchup, not having some of the best players. But nonetheless, in Avery Johnson we trust. I'm going to be leaning on and looking at Austin Romaine as a guy. Obviously led them with 96 total tackles, y'all can see right here, and VJ Payne, obviously their star safety with 64 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, and 5 pass deflections. So those are the guys I'm going to have my eye on when I look at Kansas State. All right, now for Rocco Beck and company, right? How does the team look this year? Got ranked in the poll, really solid program. How do they replace the production of guys they had last year in Jalen Noe and Jaden Higgins? Them boys nearly combined for 2,400 yards last year and were an absolute problem. So who's going to step up for Iowa State with those two guys going off into the NFL? Now, Benjamin Brahmer is a name I got an eye on offensively. Obviously, the running backs, we're going to see what happens there. But Benjamin Brahmer is 6'7", 250, is a menace when he gets the ball in his hands. Tough to slow down, agile, versatile, can run you over. He's going to be very good. That should be an early safety blanket for Rocco Beck, who had a phenomenal season last year. Expect to have another good one this year. So that's an early name I have an eye on. Now, defensively, for Iowa State, I have my eye on Dominic Orange, 24 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss. And also in the passing game, Jontez Williams and Jeremiah Cooper are two guys I'm going to have my eye on in the secondary if they can slow down Avery Johnson. Those are kind of some of the plays I'm going to watch out for and to see what happens. But I think this will be an air raid game. I think both teams scored at a high level. I got a 38-31 victory for Kansas State. I think they make just enough plays in order to outlast, obviously, the Iowa State Cyclones and come out with a victory at the Aer Lingus Classic in Dublin, Ireland. Really good team. I expect Avery Johnson to take a step forward. I think he has a little bit more weaponry around him compared to Iowa State, and I feel like the defense is going to be ready to go with Austin Romaine and everybody else. So I'm going to roll with those guys. I think they come out on top and win this game pretty handily. Well, not handily, but they win 38-31, and a shootout, obviously, to kick off college football. I think it'll be another pretty much classic game, kind of how we seen last year with Georgia Tech and Florida State. But let me know down in the comments your guys' thoughts on this game. It should be a good one. Should be a barn burner, but I'm going to roll with Kansas State with the victory.